Yo, what is up, y'all? Travis here. I am back for a new episode of Rushmore. So for the past few weeks or so, I have been listening to R&B for the past few weeks. R&B, old school R&B, newer school R&B. That's kind of where my hype is at. So yeah, that's what I've been listening to for the past few weeks or so. So I decided to come on here for a new episode of Rushmore, and I decided to give my four top male R&B singers. Just going to do the males. At some point, I'll have the females, but for right now, I'm going to do the males. And I'm going to separate the two. I'm going to separate the two generations, because I feel like there was a certain sound from the genre from the 70s through the 90s, and I feel like there was a sound from like the 2000s through present. So I'm going to kind of separate the generations here. So from the older gen, I'm going to start off with Vandross. Luther Vandross, man. He is someone who absolutely, in my opinion, helped usher in the genre, this very smooth genre from that time period. The smooth sound, the silky smooth voice he had. I think he helped usher in that genre from the 70s, and just through all of that 80s, and just that whole sound from that time that helped generate that R&B sound. I think that genuinely that he had a sound that he helped to start, and you can tell he has that impact here. So yeah, for sure it's Vandross. My second one will absolutely have to be Marvin. Marvin. Dude, the same exact thing as Luther. Marvin had a certain kind of voice, a certain sound that also helped usher in that very lovey genre of that time period, where he absolutely helped create that very romantic just sound. And I think you have to put him up there, because he also had sounds of jazz and just blues. So I have to put Marvin up there. For my third one, was kind of going back and forth here for the third and fourth ones. Was kind of going back and forth for the third and fourth ones. For my third one, I'm going to go with someone more from the 90s. But it's this is kind of more of someone for myself here. But I'm going to go with Keith Sweat. He is Keith Sweat. I remember playing one of his songs for the first time when I was 8. And I just, for some reason, I remember just like loving his songs. And he has like the same, he has a very, he has a very, he has a very certain like voice that I feel like it's hard to like say, because like he has a certain like, I'm gonna please you, I'm gonna tease you, like he has a certain voice that is hard to say, and it's like to say what kind of voice he has, because he just has a certain kind of voice. And I feel like for that, because of what impact he had on myself, I think it's just, he was the first singer that showed me how great R&B can sound. And that's why I have to put in the third spot Heat Sweat, for sure. For the fourth spot, was still going back and forth here. I was going back and forth who to put in the fourth spot. But I feel like I have to put Ronald Isley. And it's only because the Isley Brothers had a certain sound where they also were the same, where they kind of incorporated styles of jazz and funk, but they still had that like R&B sound that they would syncopate with the jazzy kind of sound that we still hear, that we can still hear in artists. So I think that's why I had to put the Isleys in the fourth spot. And I said Ronald Isley because his voice is the same, where I think he has a great voice, and I just think that whole group helped helped like that whole like jazzy kind of R&B, funky R&B sound. So I think that's why I had to put in the Isleys. Yeah, so I think that would be my 4 Rushmores from the older generation. Now for the more recent generation, I kind of felt like it was easier because I'm Gen Z, so it's hard. So it wasn't hard. For the first one though, I have to say Usher, and I have to say that because just the absolute like the voice, the impact he's had, the hits, the albums, the great songs he's had. That album, the 8-7, that project where he had the hits on it, the ones that like, you don't have to call, it's okay, girl, I'ma be alright tonight, like that one. And then he had on You Got It Bad. Like that entire album is it's an absolute just classic. And I think because of just the absolute run he's had, that just throughout that by itself, he should, yeah, for sure, he is in the third spot. In the second spot, I think I have to put in Chris Brown. Chris Brown. And the reason why I say Chris Brown is because he wasn't the first, but I think he was truly the only current gen artist who was able to like kind of still have that like he could really combine like his like pop side with his R&B side, and I think that by itself, the reason why he's had so many hits, the fact he's a great performer, he's a great performer, a great singer, and just the hits he's had throughout, and the fact it's like I said, he was one of the current gen singers who can still combine like R&B but still have that like hoppy sound, and I think he can combine those two so like well, and just yeah. So he is in the second spot. Third spot. The third spot I'm going to have to put in, and I know there are going to be some that will say that I'm going to sound crazy here, but I think the third spot for myself, and I kind of feel like it is for myself here. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of going to be myself here. But you cannot say it, but Trey Songz. Like, and yes, he's a strange guy. Yes, he is. But he is a singer, dude. Like, an absolutely great singer. And I think there are people who don't know how great Trey Songz truly is. Like, yes, he's had hits, but the albums, the true, like, sound that he's had, I think helped usher in, like, that R&B sound from, like, '07 through, like, yeah. And I think you have to put Trey Songz up there. Like, you have to. Because Trey Songz, he was in my childhood. And I think you have to put Trey Songz there. You just have to. And I think there are going to be some people that are going to call me crazy. And yeah, sure. But you have to put Trey up there. You have to put Trey. And Trey Songz has to be there. He just has to be. Fourth one is going to be Neo, because Neo was he is a great songwriter, but he also helped usher, like, the whole sound of, like, club combined with, like, R&B. Like, he had a certain sound that is the sound through the current sound, right? Like, the current sound in the genre is directly inspired from EO. I mean, for sure. Like, the hits, the songs, the sound, the very electronic sound combined with, the very, like, R&B sound. That is the sound that is still in the genre still, and he was the first guy that hearted it. And yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I think had as my 4 of the current generation. And y'all can comment y'all's thoughts down below. Y'all can trash it, blah, 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 for sure. But I think, so I have my 4 from the older gen. I have my 4 from the current gen. Was kind of going back and forth on my head of Trey Songz and The Dream. The Dream had a great voice for sure, but I don't know if he had the impact for myself that Trey had. Because I don't think people get how great Trey Songz truly is, right? So I think that's going to be the one that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're insane, you're crazy. And yeah, sure. Y'all can comment y'all's thoughts down below, blah, blah. But I think you have to say Trey. And The Dream is great, too. Don't get me wrong. The Dream is great. The Dream, Angelo, he was going for the spot too. But I just feel like for myself, I think Trey had more of an impact. But it was for sure The Dream, Angelo, and Trey Songz. So I chose Trey for myself, and yeah. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Y'all comment y'all's thoughts down below. How do y'all feel about it? Yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much it. Subscribe to my channel. Great stuff to come. Y'all comment y'all's thoughts. Like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great night. Have a great week. And goodbye.